Cursed. Cursed. We all go a little mad sometimes.
There's a formula to it. A very simple formula.
I saw the boogeyman. I saw him outside.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Hey everybody, welcome to a brand new episode of Tomb of Terrors with me, Old Man Brad. Whether you are new to the show or returning for another episode, thank you so much for giving me a listen. If you love the show, drop me a review on your favorite podcast app or become a patron, patreon.com/oldmanbrad. Also make sure to follow me on Letterboxd. Just look for Old Man Brad so you can see all the watches I do, and look me up over on Blue Sky and Instagram. This episode, I'm back with another interview for you. I have an interview with director Bruce Wemple as we chat about his new film, Capture, which is out everywhere right now. Before we dive into everything, the Oscars just happened over the weekend. Horror movies got some love at the Oscars this weekend. Biggest surprise this weekend, Amy Madigan from Weapons winning Best Supporting Actress, playing her Gladys in the film. I was surprised by that pick. I didn't have her picked, but it was awesome to see her win. Sinners got some love. Frankenstein got a few. Would have been awesome to see Ugly Stepsister get something, but it was cool that it got nominated. Horror movies keep getting the love. Now, before we dive into Capture, I want to say if you are in the Cincinnati area, come out to Frightful Fridays on the third Friday of the month. So thankful to be partnered with the Esquire Theater to host a horror screening. And our screening this week, the week that this episode comes out on March 20th, we are going to be watching Lucio Fulci's Don't Torture a Duckling. But come out March 20th at 10 p.m. and let's watch a movie together. And as I said before, also happening this weekend, Horror Hound Weekend over in Sharonville. So if you're in the area, come out for an awesome horror convention all weekend long. I'll be roaming around, taking part in the Indie Film Festival. Yeah, it's going to be an awesome weekend. Okay, it's time to talk Capture.
Standing outside the home of Jason and Cameron Green, 2 weeks after the horrifying discovery of the bodies of at least 13 people.
Hi. Is there a taxi service or something around here?
I suggest you get back on that train and head back home.
This is a highly unusual situation. I have here a last will and testament dated August 1994.
Yeah, I grew up in foster care. I never knew my parents.
In a case like this, the bank should have taken the house and sold it by now. Now that you've been identified as the beneficiary, let's just say you're a very lucky young woman.
I always wanted to know who my parents were.
My baby.
But it feels like the more that I learn, the less I actually know.
After mysteriously inheriting her parents' house, a lifelong orphan finds a camcorder and a collection of videotapes containing the gruesome secrets of her family's past and the horrifying truth behind the camcorder they were captured on. Directed by Bruce Wemple, this stars Caitlin Lenardi, Cedric Gagel, Chris Kimperman, Grant Schumacher, and others. Not really too many others, honestly. And as I said at the beginning, this is out on digital right now. You'll be able to rent it, purchase it. And I'll state right up front, I enjoyed this movie. This has some very creepy, dark moments to the film that I really enjoyed. There are a couple scenes in this with some things in the background that I loved how they kind of set the scene. I'll talk a little bit more about that after our interview. But I will say, go check out Capture. This one is definitely worth a watch. It is a nice, solid indie horror film. And with that, let's roll into my interview with Bruce Wemple, and I will chat with you on the other side. My guest today is no stranger to the horror world, with such films as The Hangman, Dawn of the Beast, and Monstrous, just to name a few. His new film, Capture, takes us behind the lens of a camcorder with dark secrets. I want to welcome in Bruce Wemple. How are you doing today, Bruce?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. Tell everybody a little bit about Capture and what kind of drew you to the film.
So yeah, Capture is, I guess you would call it a haunted object horror movie, but it's also a bit of a, haunted house type movie in the way of like The Haunting or The Innocents or even like one of the Conjuring movies or something like that. Woman is lifelong orphan, inherits this house from her estranged parents who are now passed. And when she gets there, she finds this old camcorder that contains a lot of secrets about her family's past. And the more she starts digging, the more let's say scary and dangerous things get. It was a couple things that kind of got me going on this movie. I think it's two things. The one is like, what is actually scary to me? And I do think like there's something about footage that can be really scary. I was doing a movie, The North Witch, which came out a little over a year ago, but when I was in the edit, I was, it's kind of it's a scary movie, and I'm in a dark room, my editing suite and stuff. And the first time this ever happened, I'm going through certain takes, and I'm in the middle of a take, and the footage was just corrupted. But it was corrupted in a way that like suddenly got like kind of this distorted itself, the image, and made this really loud like sound when it did it. And it was in a few takes, and I've never seen it before. I've never seen it since, but it scared the bejesus out of me. And it just stuck with me. It was just like, all right, foot. And then also the other thing is probably my influences a little bit. When I was maybe a preteen, I mean like 10 to 12 years old, was around the time that there were a lot of American remakes of Japanese horror films. And I was going to the theater a lot to see these. Not all great, mostly. But it turned me on to those Japanese horror movies. I would say like the one in theaters that was The Ring. I think that would be the exception of that, slate of movies that came out. It was like a 3 or 4 year period where it was a lot. But it did turn me on to those Japanese horror movies. And like, so taste wise, I was like, those were formative horror years for me when I was watching these movies that you can definitely, I think, see some of that inspiration within Capture. So that was kind of what led me to making this movie.
It deals with a camcorder with some secrets and other things. As you were kind of getting the movie ready to go, put it together, was there any thought ever of possibly going a found footage with that? Just because it's a camcorder, it seems like an easy, hey, we could just go this route.
I don't know if we ever actually consider that, but I think I've never made a found footage movie. I love found footage movies. I like when they're done really well. Like if it's, and there's just so much tension that's so hard to recreate in other forms of horror. And like, so a good found footage movie, I'm usually in. And I've seen ones that like nothing more than like a couple lights start flickering throughout the movie, but I loved, and you at the end of the movie, you're like, holy crap, I was just like white knuckling it the whole time. So it's definitely effective. With this movie, I'm kind of feel like we got a little bit the best of both worlds. We're still able to, it's still I don't want to say movie, but you know what I mean by that.
Yeah.
But then there are sequences that start going a little bit into, because it starts going for her perspective in the camera, and you see like the footage that she's shooting live time is being kind of reinterpolated by the camera to something else. And so we got to kind of have our cake and eat it too, in terms of having sort of found footage sequences in the movie without it being a found footage movie.
Your lead, played by Caitlin Lunardi, you've worked with her before. How was it kind of being able to work with her again on this? Did it make things a little easier for you to be like, okay, her and I know how we work kind of?
Yeah, I can't say enough nice things about Caitlin. So I worked with her on The Hangman back in 2023. She was in a small part, and then on The North Witch, she came on in a much bigger role. And it was on that movie I kind of saw how committed she was when she signed on for a role and when she was doing a character, and she was just game for whatever and just fully just immersed and just both knew the part back and forth, but also once she was playing it, she just, like I said, the level of commitment was just wild and so exciting. So once I started, I didn't even have a script. There was no green light or anything. It was more of an outline. But I knew what the movie was, and I pitched it to her, and she was on board. So we were kind of partners on this before the movie was even greenlit. So by the time we were making the movie and everything, it was just great having just a partner like that just knew what the movie was, knew exactly what she needed to do in the movie, and just when inevitably either things change or sometimes go wrong or whatever it is, having just like your lead that's in basically every scene in the movie be as familiar with everything and seeing the same movie in your head as she is just such a great way to work. And so that was all exciting. Like I said, I can't say enough nice things. And she just, I think, knocks it out of the park in the movie.
This film, I mean, it's pretty much set in one location in a house. And how did you kind of set that dark tone within the house? You know, the eeriness and.
I mean, it wasn't hard. We got super lucky with the house. Once we knew we were making the movie, we started, looking at different locations, wherever we could find either connections, Airbnb, certain location websites, talking to people. And we found this house it was in Tannersville, New York, which is kind of in the Hudson Valley region of New York, upstate New York. And started talking to the owner, and they were so supportive about it. She started asking about the movie. She could tell she was a movie fan. She'd already spoken to another crew about also filming there. I'm not sure there could easily be another movie coming out in the same place because she was that supportive about it. And we got in, and it had the right look on the outside. And then once you got inside, it had that kind of old fixer upper, but not too old. The high ceilings, and then it had this basement that had kind of hanging insulation from it. And had a dungeon feel. It had the attic that wasn't even in the original script, but we just we have to use this because it's here. And so we just got so lucky that the house had almost 5 floors that kind of looked like their own location within the location. So yeah, we once we got the first couple scenes, and we were just parked at that house, getting everything we need, which is great. I mean, that's great. No company moves. You can really, if you have a scary sequence that's whether in the hallway or going, we have a couple sequences that go kind of from the basement all the way to the top and all the way back down. You can really take the time to make it the best you could possibly do if you're not worrying about, having to go from location to location. So that was really great.
And if the house kind of had that feel to it, dressing the set itself probably didn't have to do too much, right?
No. I mean, trying to do, we leaned into kind of like the white sheet sort of having some mystery in there. And then, there was a couple things we'd do here and there just to dress it and everything. But, the bones were already there for the most part that, and even the colors, like the walls weren't just the plain white. It had kind of these dark tones around. And then even like the location, like the geographic location, there was that opening drone shot where we kind of go over the trees and it lands in the house. And the house is really, really that isolated that, there's nothing around this house. So if you're there, you are there.
You already mentioned like the attic wasn't in the script. Were there anything else kind of as you were filming or kind of going along, any unexpected moments that you're like, you know what, we could change it up to kind of go this with this on it?
I'm trying to think if there's anything drastic that changed. There's definitely, always little moments here and there that the attic definitely. I don't think we kind of had. I think we had like a childhood bedroom that was kind of being remodeled. That was kind of originally in the script. And then when we got that basement that had the dungeon feel, like, all right, things are going to be locked down here. and that was a big part of it. Yeah. So that basement where, I don't want to give away too much, but yeah, having that where things can be hidden, anytime you watch a horror movie and someone says, don't go in the basement, there's black mold or whatever it is. It's
talking about things could be hidden and stuff like that. Were there any kind of like scare moments that say Caitlin or any of the cast didn't know about that you were like, okay, let's set this up to try to get that natural like jump?
So some of the tapes she watches, and there's a certain sequence where she watches some patient tapes, let's call it. Mm-hmm. And those were pre-filmed. So she's actually reacting to those, and she had not seen those tapes yet. So that we were able to get true reactions to and some of those tapes, there's an actor in there, Will Maisel, who as one specific patient who does an amazing job as Kevin. And she was able to, we were actually watch her lifetime reaction to that tape. So that was fun because we spent about, like I said, we had the first couple days that are off site. And then once we were parked at the house, we spent the first day at the house, I believe, doing all of the tapes and all of the found footage type stuff. So once we're based in the present, we are based in the present. And that helps with set design. That helps with also, since Caitlin's also playing the mother, she could just play that for a day and not have to worry about going back and forth, and she can just be focused on that one role. So it was nice having, because a lot of times you get in that situation, and if there is something on screen, this is every movie I've ever been on, there's just like green tape on the TV or whatever, because you got to put that in later. So having been able to actually film the tapes and film her reactions were nice.
This comes out March 17th everywhere. People can watch it. Once people start to see it, what do you hope that they kind of take away from it or get from it?
Selfishly, I'm really excited because we're doing a premiere on Friday the 13th. It's my first time like watching a movie with an audience in a movie theater, in a dark theater.
Okay.
And I'm really excited to see how that goes, because I feel like it is that type of movie where like in a dark theater, getting everyone, that unease and everything. And then, so I'm really excited about that. So on that note, like I just, as close as you can get at home to watching it that way is just really what I hope for. Cause I do think the movie has the tension, the movie has, this immersiveness to it, and I think you only get that if you just give the movie the opportunity to like let yourself be immersed, and whether that's having a dark room, turning up the volume, whatever that is, put your phone away, like that. The more, and this is any movie, obviously, but like, that I'm most excited about, just like having audiences watch it and just kind of immersing yourself, like being in with Abby in the movie, especially as things get a little crazy about, later into it. There's
a couple good scares in it, and I can't say pieces, but yeah, I think a dark room, just kind of get into the movie. I think you'd really, really get into it.
And that should be any movie, but like I get that sinking feeling each time where I'm like, someone had their phone out, and like it's so hard. It's so hard right now. But
as we kind of wrap things up, I want to thank you for taking time out of your day to chat with me. Where can people kind of follow along to you or follow along to the movie to see what it either has next or where they can find it?
Yeah, I guess my Instagram is at Bruce Wemple. That would be, I'm not really on any of the other, X or threads or anything like that, but I think that would be the best. I'm trying to post as much as possible about the movie. Hopefully just check out the movie. If you like the movie, and hopefully you do, please just like do whatever you can on, to either spread the word or give it some love, whether that's IMDb or Letterboxd or whatever, because it's a very, really small movie. So any of that stuff goes a long way for us. So, yeah.
My one last question for you. If you could describe your movie in just one word, what would it be?
Oh, there's so many lame ones going through my head. That's describe, because I'm trying to describe the feel of it, or describe the
like if you were just to tell somebody just in one word, just be like, capture is.
Yeah, wouldn't it just be capture? I mean, that's the name of the movie. If I had a better word, that one. Tense is the one word, maybe. Okay, that's it.
I can see that, because there are moments that are very much yes.
If I had a better word, it'd probably be the title of the movie.
That's fair. That is fair.
No, that's a really good question. Yeah, that's always a tough one.
Well, Bruce, I want to thank you so much for taking time out of your day to chat with me, and I want to wish you the best of luck with Capture. Everybody go check it out March 17th.
Thank you so much for having me. This is super fun. Please check it out if you like it. Say, tell people or say something online, but also, really, like I said, hopefully give it an opportunity, really get you. So
I want to thank Bruce so much for taking time out of his day to chat with me. It was great to get to chat with him. I think he and I could have talked for a whole lot longer. It was awesome just getting to talk horror movies and in various different things. But Capture, let's dive into that. I'm going to try to keep it spoiler free. I don't want to spoil anything for you, because there are some things that can definitely ruin some aspects of it. I'll try to tiptoe as much as I can about it. So Caitlin's character Abby inherits this house. She had no idea that this was going to happen. What was, she's kind of down on luck. She needs money. So she's like, I'm going to go there, go check it out, stay there for a bit, and then sell it so I can make some money. All while there's a camcorder. And it's a horror movie when you find an object in a place, in a house you don't know much about really. How's that going to go? Well, let's just say some things happen in this house. I know Bruce kind of mentioned it, very much a haunted house aspect to it. There are some things that happen with this camcorder, these tapes that she finds as she watches more of the tapes and discovers what exactly kind of is happening in this house as things kind of take a darker turn as we roll through this. As you can see, I'm skirting around, not saying exactly what it is. It's kind of hard because there are things that I'm like, ooh, like this. But overall, I enjoyed the atmosphere for one of this movie. I thought it was a nice, dark story. Bruce, we even talked about it in the interview. He was like, find a good setup, a nice dark room, kind of turn it up, kind of get that creepy feeling going so the sounds can kind of jump out at you, things coming out of the dark. There are a couple scenes where there are some things in the dark that I loved how they were shot, how it was all set up. You mix that with this footage that she's watching, as well as the mystery behind this camera. And then the deaths in this. There are a few deaths in this. The way that they happen, I liked how it went. I have this old camcorder that I've had since like the early 2000s. It's just a mini DV tape camcorder. I think I need to use it to go shoot some footage, make some creepy things happen with it. If you like creepy ghost stories, kind of haunted stories with a few pretty good kills, and some of them, I mean, there are some bloody kills, as well as not necessarily a full found footage aspect to it, but there are pieces because she finds these tapes that they kind of cut to and show you. So it's like found footage within the movie. But you kind of put all those elements together and you get a nice little creepy horror movie. It's all set in this one house. The house is very cool looking. And as you kind of fly in when you first see the house, it is a very secluded house. To me, it almost looks like a haunted house on its own, just walking into this. And if this is mostly what this house looked like, it's probably a creepy place to be. Capture gets a full recommend from me. Definitely watch for it. Go rent it or watch for it coming to streaming, one of your services sometime in the future. Put it on a list, put it on those watch lists so you don't forget about it. It's definitely one that you'll want to check out. As we kind of wrap things up, I like to do a double feature with whatever we have for the episode. And I kind of really had to think about this one. I was like, do I want to find like a found footage movie? People who know me, I'm not a giant fan of found footage. There are some that just hit for me. And I was like, no, I don't want to go found footage. Do you want to go haunted house? Do I want to go another ghost story of some sort? Something like that. And that's kind of what I did. I landed on another ghost story. And that is We Are Still Here from 2015. This movie's a a very, very nice, slow burn ghost story that has this third act, this ending that just hits so hard in it. If you've never seen We Are Still Here, you have to add it to a watch list because I absolutely love this movie. It hits you hard at the end. I love it. Barbara Crampton is always great. That is my double feature for this week. You got Capture and We Are Still Here. Well, that will do it for this episode of Tomb of Terrors. I want to thank you so much for all those who have listened. Just make sure you subscribe to the show so you never miss anything that happens over here, whether it's these interview episodes, short reviews, versus Tales from Tubi, or The Year of Paul Nashi. I have a new Paul Nashi episode coming out next week, where Brett from Dissect That Film and I will talk Dr. Jekyll and the Werewolf. You definitely won't want to miss that one. And also make sure you follow over on YouTube, where I do additional reviews called More from the Tomb, as well as Discs of the Damned, as I go through my physical media collection, one disc at a time. But I'll be back soon. Just snuggle up in that blanket, turn off the lights, because it's okay to be scared. We'll talk to you later, everybody.